Hello.
Oh,
Yes, this is Bishop Dr. Obu. Shalom.
shalom, shalom. How are you? Greetings.
I'm blessed. Are you?
Blessed, blessed, blessed. Glad to hear your voice.
Thank you.
King will be with you shortly.
Okay. RABISHEIKH.
Testing 1, 2. 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Can you hear us, Bishop?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, great, great, great.
Mm.
Hey Bishop, how you doing?
I'm good. Are you?
I'm very good, very good. Good, good, good.
The stomach seems to have just eaten lunch.
Yeah, we just eaten.
Okay. Okay. I nearly, you know, wasted time because
I can hear you, even though I was just making sure Ali could hear.
Yes, I can hear now.
okay.
Great. How's it going, Bishop?
Yes. No, I'm saying I nearly wasted time because by the time I had to run through the activities, I wanted to, take a nap for 30 minutes. But when I woke up, it occurred my mind. I said, okay, let me look at the time. I have enough time. I said, wow. I said, I knew that I nearly lost it.
Ah, yeah, the time get away from you quickly.
Yes. So others, are there people who are logging in now? I don't know if I'm seeing anyone. It's only the two of us.
It's only the two of us. If you
The-
can, you might want to send them a message and send them the link, or to check with them to see where they are.
Okay. I actually in Nigeria, you know that they are very religious people.
Yes, someone just came in, Bishop.
It's I'm trying to log in from the laptop instead on the phone. I'm the one logging in from the laptop
Okay.
rather than using my phone. It will enable me so I can reach anyone. So I'm logging in through my laptop now.
Okay.
Yes, it's just saying connected. So let me check up. Let me check up with it. Chief Jerry, you're not coming online. Hello? Yeah, Chief. Hey, checking in. You're not coming online.
Aya, you put on the AC?
Okay. Can you see me here?
Yes, we can see you.
Okay. I think I need to log off this other one. I need to leave it. Okay. No, I was able to reach him. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So I was able to reach Chief Barrister Jerry Gemba. So I know Nigerians are very religious people. The way he sounded, I knew that he was also taking a nap, and maybe he has wasted time also. Because by the time they come back from church,
Yeah,
a lot
very
of activity. Oh, no, no, no. The man is strong in his activity.
yeah,
Very strong. You can't run like that unless you are gifted to run like that.
yes.
He's a pastor. He's a lawyer of 34 years practicing. He's a political guru everywhere. He is a chief. That is a traditional chief. So
Wow.
so the thing would drain him, but then he keeps, and he has a good wife who knows every, all these medicinal, herbal food, everything, who will always, make sure that at least he's alive. Otherwise, if you run like that without having someone that can, keep, the food you eat, even if you want to eat this one, she will say, no, 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 you cannot, because of your health. No, when you massage, when everything, then you'll be in trouble, honestly. So give me just 1 minute. It's hard, man. Just 1 minute. Coming online now.
Yeah,
See,
see,
Jerry. Okay. It's very hot, so I had to pull off the jacket.
All right.
Yeah, Chief Jerry.
Yes, my love Bishop.
Yes, we can't see you. We only see your name there.
Okay, I'm here.
Chief
So
Jerry,
maybe
it's wonderful to hear
maybe
you.
you can put on your video.
Okay, I'm trying to do that.
Ah, Chief Jerry,
Yes,
wonderful
Chief Jerry.
to
Yeah. Sorry,
Okay.
sorry, it took time before I could connect. I'm sorry about that.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
Yeah? Good. I'm sorry about that. Mhm.
Yeah, but when I when I spoke to you, you sounded like maybe you are sleeping. Hello, Chief Jerry.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, we only see your head. We can't see your face.
All right. Can you see my face now?
Yes, we can see your face. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Okay. Quickly, let me. Yeah, your sound is a bit breaking. Rabbi, can you hear him?
No, he's breaking up on my end.
Yes, he's breaking. I know the network, especially from Nigeria.
Yeah.
And is raining
Everybody look at
tonight.
I think he's trying to get to a space with more signal.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, that's what he's trying to do.
Yes. Okay. All right. Are we better now? Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Rabbi Sheikh, let me introduce Chief Barrister Jerry Gemba. Then I will introduce you. You introduce our brother. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Chief Jerry Gemba is the Nigerian coordinator for Igbo Hebrew Cultural Heritage. But then not just like that, let me introduce who he is. First of all, Chief Jerry Gemba, I believe he's 63 or 64 now, years old, but he works like a 20-year-old with strength. he's a local chief who knows all the tradition and everything, vibes, the culture of the people, and he is a practicing lawyer of 34 years experience. He has been practicing law for 34 years. Then he is a political guru. he has been legal advisor of political parties. He has been a mayor, what you call a mayor, local government chairman. He has been a chairman task force on petroleum in our state. He has been special advisors, to the governor or what you call premier. So he has handled many organizations. He knows everyone that needs to be known. When you say anyone that needs to be known, and any point you want to reach, he knows it. That's Chief Barrister Jerry Gemba. From the cultural to political to ministry. I mentioned to you he's a pastor.
Yes.
So yes. So he's all. So don't look at the way he's walking. You would think ordinary. You can see our friend Sarkazri and the rest of them at the Dimona, when they are certain age and you look at them, now they look as if they are young and they are smart and they say, ooh, but this one, this one is a typical to show that I am young at heart and I can do it. I mentioned that he is lucky to have a wife who, if he comes back to know this is the food you are eating made for you, you can't eat this one. No matter how you want to eat this one, she will say no, because of your health. She knows what to apply, what to give you, which medicinal to give you and everything, whatever the food to give you. So the wife is a lecturer, is a teacher, and an academic. That's about Chief Barrister Jerry Gamba. So yes. Now, Chief Jerry, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Now let me introduce Rabbi Sheikh Godov. Now,
thank you very much. Go ahead.
I remember when we were in Dimona together. When we were in Israel, I went to Dimona together.
Yes.
I expected maybe Sarkazri is also supposed to log in. I don't know. Now, it was Sarkazri that took me to the Bedouins. So one of those meetings, you know, to the local Hebrew people, until when we went there, while we were in a bus going, we passed some places. And when we were passing, some of those women, and especially Mama Kokava, who was the one attending to me, told me, there's this young man here. That is a very rich man. He's a very this one. So when we met the sheikh, I asked her, so this is the, he said, no, not this one. There's one young one, you know, he's an African American. He's a very, so until now we met him, I think he brought something into the bus, followed us to some extent to drop off something. She was pointing to me that is this one, is this one. So it was now the sheikh that introduced him. I was surprised when they said that this one is an Igbo. Before we began introduction and find out that he is a great-great-grandson of King Jaja of Opobo. He knows the history of Igbo land and the history of the Jaja family and the Zurumba family in their area more than those who are born in that area. Before he brought, you know, documents and everything with one of his attorneys, and you know, I was shocked. So since then, he knows that every minute your name comes up, and I know this might be the first time both of you are meeting. So I'm introducing the RABISHEIKH Godop. So RABISHEIKH, take it from here.
Okay, so I'm RABISHEIKH Idon. RABISHEIKH is actually a title. I am both a Rab, which is Hebrew for chief, and Sheikh, which is a ruler. So I'm a chief ruler of peoples here, established in the land of Israel. And with me today is my brother from America. This is Sheikh Ali. Now, Ali, he is a 4th level master of martial arts. He is my chief of security here. And also, he is a trainer to teach policing and paramilitary tactics. So this is Ali.
Ali,
Now,
welcome.
Ali was with me when we attended the UN summit in 2016, when we won the court case against America for reparations and repatriations with the Friends of the African Union and the African Union itself. So we signed the document, and it was because of my security clearance that we were able to gain access, because I served as an engineer in the U.S. Air Force.
Yes,
So,
I forgot to mention that. Okay. Yeah.
So I worked there, and while I was there is a man in your land, Chief Agemba. His name is Mfonoso Eyo. Mfonoso Eyo.
Okay.
He is the Nigerian Air Force. I love this man. We took care of each other while we were in training in school together. I looked out for him, and he looked out for me. And I kept asking him while we were in training, do you know the Igbo people? I am trying to find my great-grandfather's people. He said he would try, but it did not work at that time. I guess some things are just reserved for, you know, a future time.
That's right. Yes. Yes, you're welcome. It's my pleasure to get to know Rabbi Sheikh. It's my pleasure to get to know you. I mean, for the Lord, just like Bishop Obu said, this is our first time seeing ourselves one-on-one. But I think I read so much about Rabbi Sheikh. Yeah, that's all I see happening. I just face-to-face, you know, marking of each other, and then our meeting together. It's my pleasure indeed to be part of this. And Bishop Obu.
Yes, Chief Jerry.
You are there.
Yes, I'm here. Can you see me?
This is the type of.
Hello.
Oh, it's his signal again.
Yes,
Yes,
I can see you.
Yes.
You can do, and we are. Yes, I'm trying.
The network is breaking. Your network, let me see if, I don't know.
It's his network.
In my technology, I know the better for me.
Okay. Okay, there you go. Let's see if we got him back. Chief, are you back?
Yeah, but he's muted.
Yeah.
You need to unmute.
Yeah, I need him to unmute for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need him to unmute. When he
Okay,
gets
so yes.
He has unmuted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, I have unmuted.
Okay, yeah. At least it's a bit clear now. Your voice is clear. And
Okay, good.
Your is clear too.
Yeah,
we couldn't hear what you were saying.
Oh, you couldn't hear me?
No, we couldn't hear you.
Oh, wow. Okay. I was just saying that, it's my pleasure being part of this meeting. That Rabbi Sheikh, I've heard so much about him, I've read so much about him, and I think I know a lot about him. But this is the first time we are meeting face to face. The first time we are marking ourselves. This is the first time, at least, we have been together. So, and I was talking about Bishop Boo. So, well, Bishop Boo, this is the type of thing you know how to do best.
Well, we thank God. And I thought the great Sheikh Aide, is he logging in?
People, how
okay,
to
Sheikh Aide is actually in court right now. And he's in court dealing with two issues in the village of Rahat. So one, there's land available in Rahat that he is also trying to secure for us. And then there's another legal issue. So not this time, but he sends his blessings and love. And I'm recording this so he can see it.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Okay. Okay, that's fine. I see someone else who is coming in here.
No, I think he's switching from
Yes, I'm trying to change
to the
Yes,
iPad.
I'm trying to change Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but we can't see you. We are seeing the roof. Oh, okay, I can see. I see it's your house. Okay.
Let me disconnect this one. Let me disconnect this so that at least we can. I can use the bigger one.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I did too.
Yeah.
That's yes.
Mm-hmm.
He'll come back in a second. Oh, it's so good to finally meet him. You know, I have written his name 1,000 times on so many documents.
Hey, but he's a busy person. Oh no. Many times I can monitor him for 3 hours. Monitor following any little thing I see, any people I call that time. And he may be in a meeting. You just say, I'm in a meeting. I know. He could have 10 meetings in a day. And yet all through the night, For political reasons, there are meetings and there are, then in the time he's in the court, he's because of his legal practitioner, then or he's on the way. So today, Sunday, is the best day that you can get him from this time. He's back from church. He will be resting, unless there is any political activity or political meeting that will also take him out. So otherwise, hey, you need to be strong to do what he's doing, believe you me.
Yes, very much. Very much. I understand it, you know. You'll be surprised at how much goes on here in this land. It will drain you if you let it. You have to set boundaries sometimes. Just stop. Otherwise, you know, the fatigue will set in. You know, it's so much work. It's so much mental strain. The focus and the concentration necessary is a lot more than most people can know or understand. Well, you should know. You do it too.
I think my children are coming in. Let me just call them to greet if they are the ones. I hear them coming into the house. Let them just say hi.
Okay.
Ada, Quiros, come, Bian. I think Barista Gemba is dealing with they're trying to log on the laptop or something.
Yeah, I think he just signed himself out, so he's trying to log back in and sign himself.
Okay. Ada, Diana, but yeah. Rabbi said, this one is my first daughter.
Hi. Shalom.
This is Rabbi Sheikh Gadot. This is Ali.
Hello.
Hi.
So,
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
yeah.
Pleasure is all mine.
This is my second daughter.
Hello.
Hi, shalom.
Okay. These are the two I told you I will be coming with.
Yes.
Yeah, my son is a practicing lawyer in. Oh, come and greet Barista Gemba. Chief Jerry.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah. These are my two daughters. You know them. I know you.
Wow.
This is Junior's principal. Eh?
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. It's my pleasure. Huh?
Yes.
Thank you. Welcome.
My son served Chief Jerry Gemba in his chamber. Chief Jerry was his principal after he was called to law. I told my son is a practicing lawyer.
Yes.
So when he was called to bar as a lawyer, so he went to serve, at Chief Gemba's chamber. That's where he grew in his practice before he went to live in Abuja.
Oh.
Yes. So there are many even who have become attorney generals who served under Chief Jerry Gemba's chamber.
Wow.
Yes.
Chief Jerry, I have to say this. I've written your name on 1,000 times on so many documents. But it has been an honor and a pleasure to work with you. And even remotely, I know you're busy, but even remotely, it has been a great honor and a pleasure. You don't know what you have done. All of this began as my personal quest just to reconnect with my family. I absolutely did not plan for any of this. I just wanted to find you and tell you that I loved you and that we're okay, and go on with my life knowing that we were a family. And now it has grown into reconnecting an entire nation. To me, it is beyond words, and I am honored to be with great men like you.
Yeah, Rabbi Sheikh, it's my pleasure too. Like I said, Dr. Boo has painted some very good picture. My getting to know you was the beginning of what I may call fulfillment of a vision which I had. To have my people reconnected to their people across the other side in the Holy Land. And when Bishop Obu began to bring information to me concerning you, I began to say, oh, so we are here at very long last. So it's my pleasure to get to know you. It's my pleasure to get to be with you. It's my pleasure to get to be in a position to work with you. It's my pleasure to get to reconnect with you, my brother. And it's my pleasure to get to know that we can together do so much for our people. It's my pleasure indeed. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You are welcome.
I have 4 children. You know, the 4 of them they schooled in Canada. 3 are still in Canada. 2 are working in Canada. 1 is completing her education by next year. 1 is completed, and you know, and she just got married last December, and she is here with me. Where's Amara? She's here with me in a moment. I'll just let her show her face. She got married last December. You know, that's my first daughter. The daughter, the wife, the husband is in South Africa. Yeah, that's your face. Come and show your face and say hi to our people. She's got. Okay, she will soon be with us. She will soon join, and I'll let her show her face. Yeah, so and my wife also will also show her face. You know, they are obviously doing all kinds of things, but in a short while, I'll bring them in. They will show their face and say hi to Rabbi Sheikh. Yeah, and also get to know our brother on the other side. You know, yes. So it's my pleasure. Well, when Mr. Wu talked about my wife, I think he's been here. My wife is somebody that is very, very, you know, conscious of our health. And she doesn't just...
Magic health.
That is very important. Very important.
I have a very wonderful... Yes, I have a wonderful family, and I give God praise for that. Yes, I really thank God. Yeah, so it's a family thing. It's a family thing that we are trying to establish. And, you know, when people of the same descent are talking to one another, when people of the same blood are talking to one another, it's easy to synergize. It's easy to fuse. It's easy to understand.
Yes. What you have just said about
it's easy to work together. Okay, my daughter is here. Oh, yeah, I'm going to come. Yeah, my daughter will show her face. Oh, yeah, that's my first daughter.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Sorry, I couldn't come to your marriage because I think I also traveled to Israel. So I was supposed to come. I couldn't come.
If you came to Israel, it was my fault.
Not really. I'm trying. Okay. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You should get it done. All right, that's it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
You know, I want to say that, you know, what you have just said about understanding. This understanding has been the paramount thing that has made everything come together. I had to first, even when I got here, I had to understand the rules necessary legally to achieve this goal, to achieve this mission. I had to change myself, my character, and then understand the lifestyle, and then try to convey that to the bishop and to yourself and Sarkazriel and the community of Dimona. And now that understanding has extended to where we are today, where we can purchase back the land and give people internationally a possession in the Holy Land, which gives them the right to return. There's nothing that anyone can stop. There's no law here that a person of customs can refuse a landowner entry. It is prohibited. So while we fought last year with visas and trying to get tourism and this, with the land ownership of every person that comes, even the smallest portion, 1 meter, that person has a vested interest in Israel and must be granted entry because he's a landowner. So they can't take the land from him without him being present. They have to buy it back if they want to get it from him. But we possess it, and not so much as by purchase, we possess it by indigenous rights. There's an indigenous law here. So we are recognized as the people indigenous before the Balfour Declaration was established. So we are categorized with the indigenous people. We have our own indigenous court. We have our own indigenous laws and governance, which we must keep. If we use other things, it doesn't work. Anything from an outside governmental influence or from an outside that has an outside government or governance to it, it's not accepted as indigenous. So I had to be sure I understood what I could and couldn't do to be successful. And now I am sitting here with success in my hand. And I am so grateful that you men have stood with me, even from this great long distance, to achieve this. Today, I have seen, over the last 7 days, I have seen my elders cry because of the achievement that you have helped me to achieve with the Igbo Hebrew Trust. It is a phenomenal, phenomenal thing. So I thank you for your suggestions and your guidance and your counsel.
Yeah, thank you, Bishop. Thank you very much. Bishop Obu.
Yes, Chief Jerry.
Yes, you understand what he's saying.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Actually,
Good.
yes,
Good.
actually, living here in South Africa, and I'm a board of trustee of the Nigerians, not just Igbos, and I sit in many cases resolving issues and whatever here. But to them, to those of them who are here, those Nigerians, including those who are, who occupy position of kings over kingdoms here, Igbo kingdoms here and everything, but they see me as a man of all means, versatile, connecting back to Igbo land and everything. But what they don't know that my secret is Chief Barrister Jerry Ekemba. That's my secret. So, whatever to be reached,
Okay,
I'll tell them, don't worry. Hey,
Bishop,
Mama,
can you see?
you can see the wife, eh? The wife,
Bishop.
you would think it's
Mama.
you think it's the daughter. The wife is also as young as the children. So, I agree to.
Shalom.
Hey.
I agree to Bishop. Hello, team. Hello, sir.
Shalom.
Shalom, sir.
Shalom, shalom.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's it, because until you have a connection back home, you see, even in my church in Owerri, I couldn't operate, I couldn't do anything. Everything, whatever saint and whatever, goes through him, making sure that the pastor is from my kindred in my home. But there's no way I can deal with him one-on-one, except I go through Chief Barrister Jerry Ekemba. So anyone, no matter what, I will refer you to say, meet so-so person. So he is my connection back home. No matter what I can do, anyone think he can do everything, whatever, but my everything goes through him. So that's how it is.
Yeah, I understand that very well. That's my, for me, that's Sheikh Aid. Everything goes through him.
Yes, for me, he is Sheikh Aid.
Yeah, I understand.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah, Rabbi Sheikh.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, as I began to get myself together for this meeting, and I began to make consultation. There are quite a number of people who ought to have joined us, but you know, like technology here could be a little bit of a problem. I have one word for you.
Yes.
There are a lot of our people, a lot of your people, a lot of your brothers and sisters who are eager to reconnect with their fatherland in Israel, a lot of them. I mean, after I talked around, you know, making sure that I more or less test out the idea of purchasing land in Israel and getting to have right of
So right to passage, right to return.
into Israel.
Yes.
A lot, yes, a lot of trains. So if we work it out very, very well, I can tell you in a very short time, you begin to have exodus of your people. Another exodus from Egypt to the promised land. This time around from your own people, their own blood, from your own relations, those who share the same blood with you, those who will be so glad that they have made it at last, those who will be so fulfilled that, oh, at long last, you know, here am I, you know, so the modalities, you know, and after, you know, reading a few from you, I Googled, you know, we got to the Israeli laws. You know, I think what you have presented seems to be one of the most legitimate ways of indigenizing in Israel. You know, and having a right of ownership over some plus of land. Yeah, it is. So I understand when we talk about the legal standing, the legal procedure, the legal protocol for acquiring what I may call quote unquote Israeli citizenship. I think I understand what you're saying. So let's advance further. Let's take it further in the meeting, and then as we discuss, we'll probably be able to say more things. But for now, you have this word of encouragement from me, a word of assurance. What you started has gone down to the annals of history, and your name will soon become a household name within your own kings, within your own kids, within your own brothers and sisters here. Yeah, it will soon become a household name. So this is also one of the passions Bishop Obu has, which we share together. It's one of the ideas he has to connect people with people, to connect us with our origin, to connect us to have access to the land that we can joyfully step our feet on and say, Lord, thank you for doing this again for us. So I think it's a good thing, you know. I just needed to chip this in so that we can feel free and more courageous to talk more. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief Agembo.
Thank you, Rabbi Sheikh. So let's get into the meeting. If there are a few things, if there are things we have to discuss, we discuss it. Or if there are clearer explanations, and do he understand it as a lawyer, and he understand knowing that our people very eager, but then as much as they are eager, many also are skeptical, thinking, how can this work? But because I've been in the land, coming in, and I've met with local rulers, different things, and both Ishmaelites, both Midianites, both I've met them. Those ones we read in the Bible, and I've met them, and so I'm more confident. But you need to explain things, how this is going to work, as smooth as it is, how to begin. So if there are any questions we can ask, we will ask. And unfortunately, Sarkazwil, I expected he will log in. I understand what they are going through presently. But I expected he should join forces in order to maybe we carry him along.
Yeah. As far as Dr. Kaziel and the people of Demona, Sheikh Aid and myself, what we have formulated a plan and a program just for them. So what we are just doing now is moving forward, because they have to finish the business that they have started with the Israeli people. So they have to close that matter out first. And then once they have begun to move their people into the community here or into the other communities and the other lands that we have, then there's a process, because some of the land has to be developed, because we can't take everyone at once. So with the development being in process now, like they're leveling the land, the tractors are out, they're laying out the electric lines, the water lines, and the sewer lines, so and allotting the lots. So the beginning of the development has begun, but it's just a matter of time before we can, we can begin to filter them into the community, and then we have to transfer their status. So once they come into the program, there's a whole education about what it is to be Bedouin and operate under Bedouin laws. Because as a Bedouin, you're no longer subject to the Jewish laws, right? If a Bedouin man is arrested in say Beersheba by the Jewish police, they call me, the sheikh, or another their sheikh, to come into the court, and we preside over this man's trial. So it's a separate system, and so people have to come in and know how to operate and function in the indigenous system. So that's part of the program. Also, well, this is why the people come in and they have a whole year of accommodation, because we understand that people can't work and educate and do all these things at the same time. So they have a provision to learn, and then to get out into workforce, and then gain some prosperity for themselves, and then they have the right to purchase other indigenous land for themselves as much as they would like. So it's not a matter of, it's a one-shot deal. This is just the golden ticket to get you in and to get you established. The process of your growth once you arrive begins as you continue over the time and your years of development here. So
Okay, please, 1 minute,
yes.
Rabbi. I wanted to clear this area so that Barrister Gemba, if he has any question or something, or to minute it before he goes.
Yes.
Because I saw he was looking the other way while you were mentioning that. You are saying that under the Bedouin laws, I also needed to give a little clarity between in the Constitution of Israel. Now you are saying that under the Bedouin laws, when as indigenous people, as my people come in, if peradventure maybe any of our people is, for one reason or the other, is arrested in Shege Shalom or this other area which is under the Jewish law, now they can only call you or call the sheikh.
Yes.
So that when they are charging the person, they will charge that person under the indigenous law.
Yes,
and not under the Jewish law.
not at all. They have,
Okay.
as a matter of fact, the Israeli court, once if a person is arrested, they can only hold this man for 24 hours. Within 24 hours, the sheikh must be contacted, the charges must be brought out, and I must appear in court to hear the entirety of the investigation and then decide on this man's judgment. This man, he doesn't even go into the Jewish jail or prison system. He participates in our Bedouin prison system. So everything, under the Jewish law, we have an entire separate Bedouin government operating side by side. We are operating as two separate peoples and governments under one nation. So the indigenous Bedouin, we have our own court. We have our own laws. So whenever our people come in, they are not subject. They must be under the Bedouin law, the indigenous law. You're not, if you get out of that and say someone was to come into the program and then decide they want to go get citizenship, Israeli citizenship, well, they will forfeit all the benefit of their program, the land, and everything. You lose your entitlement to everything. Israeli citizens do not possess the land. All land is either owned by a Bedouin or under the governance of the Israeli government by occupation. That is the law here. So people come here, they thinking, oh, I could go and buy land on my own. But you can meet somebody, you can make an agreement. That agreement allows you to have a rental. You have the land for 30, 40, 50 years, and you pay a tax on it. As Bedouin, when you own the land, you are finished, and there is no tax. We pay no land tax. We are a kingdom. We own this land. We are indigenous, and the Israeli government has no right to interfere with our law. They cannot change our law or our customs in any way. This is the law.
Let me just okay. Let me ask some questions and clarify some issues.
Yes.
You talk about the independent legal system, the Jewish law guiding the Jewish people, and then the law of the Bedouins guiding the Bedouins. And then, okay, you talked about the judicial system as well. You talked about two systems, the legislative system, the judicial system. So if somebody, for instance, commits a crime in Jerusalem and he is of the Bedouin, what you're saying is that the sheikh will have to be invited to come and preside over the judicial process that would determine that person's eventual punishment or discharge. That is what I understand you saying.
Yes.
So even if the crime is committed in Jerusalem, let's say Jerusalem, the Jewish security system can only hold a person for 2 be presided over by the Rabbi Sheikh. Do I get that right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, good. Now, what about movement between the area of the Bedouins and then the area of the Jewish people? Is there free movement?
Yes, there's free movement. You can move anywhere, anytime. We have free movement, right? But your home city, right? Everybody has like a home city. My home city is Segev Shalom. Someone else's might be Dimona. I can go to Dimona anytime, but my home city, my city of registry is where my land is. That's my home city. But you free movement. You can go anywhere. There's no restriction or anything.
Good. Can somebody in Sheikh Shalom, for instance, get a job in Jerusalem and move to go and do the work in Jerusalem? Is it possible?
Yes, you can work anywhere in the land. As a matter of fact, I have worked everywhere in the land. I started a catering service, and I worked in Haifa, I worked in Jerusalem. I worked Tel Aviv. Even we started work over in the Palestinian areas of Gaza and the West Bank and cross the borders. And we can get back. We have free movement. Even Jordan Valley and into the Egypt border, we have free movement.
Okay, good. Then the next is you talked about, for instance, somebody who wants to change, let's call it citizenship from that of a Bedouin to a Jewish person.
Right.
It's not. You've talked about the person has to forfeit all the rights and the benefits he has under the Bedouin, law
So
of the
let me explain the two statuses. So in
Yes.
Israel, we have this thing called status. So the Israelis, let's start with the Israeli statuses because the system is a little different than anywhere in the world. So under the Israeli citizen is a Jewish man. He is a citizen. He has the power of the vote. His vote actually is accounted for. Then you have Israeli residents. They are allowed to vote, but their vote isn't counted. But it does show where the polls are for the people, and that's residency. Then you have refugees and asylum. These are the four Israeli statuses.
Okay.
On the Bedouin side, you have Bedouin. That's it. There's only one status. Once you come out of this, if you go into the Bedouin side, you're just Bedouins. Now, when you get this Bedouin status, your Bedouin status is, again, ratified with your land ownership. So when you get your land ownership, then you get your Bedouin passport, your Bedouin ID, and you're able to freely move out of the country, back in as a citizen. As Bedouins, we vote on the matters that count to us in our communities. We appoint our mayors from our people. We appoint our deputy mayors from our people. We appoint the police officers if we want police in our cities. We appoint everything for ourselves from our people. When you see the Bedouins voting in Israel's government for like prime minister or whatever, the Bedouin vote does not count. It just shows, again, a poll about what side we are leaning towards and who we want to work with. So these are the statuses and how they are regulated out. So the community of Damona, they put their children in the army and they were supposed to receive citizenship, which is like the Jewish.
Yes.
The Knesset in Jerusalem, they voided that agreement out. So now they have their children serving in the army, and the children are basically like under refugee statuses because they didn't give them anything, but they maintain their residence, but they're basically like refugees. They're not officially accepted to the Israeli government and the Israeli people. So this is how the Jewish people have been keeping our people out, is because we're going to their government thinking that it's like the European governments around the world, and it's not.
So, in which case, to put it clearly, the Jewish government has no obligation to help develop any of the cities within the Bedouins.
Yes, they are obligated to develop Bedouins. That's part of the law. They are obligated to support us, but the way they do it is through the sheikhdom. So, as a sheikh, the more people a sheikh has, the more obligated the government is to support this man and his people. So here in Sekev Shalom, we started out with one house, and it was 4 sheikhs, and they gathered together at first as 5,000 people to make this a recognized village. In 14 years, we have over 10,000 people living here and in the surrounding villages. So the government does give us support. They support us. They support us financially and development-wise, and we support them by securing the borders. So the entirety of the border of Israel is 100% guarded by Bedouin soldiers, by volunteer. So the exterior of Israel is protected by us because we know all the neighboring lands and all the neighboring countries, and we speak the neighboring languages. So we are the ones on the borders. So this is our Bedouin agreement. We have to have security here to secure the nation so we can grow.
Yeah. Okay. Then finally, before probably I get more questions to ask, in terms of faith, issues of faith and belief, you know, right here we are more of Christians, and we practice the Christian religious faith. Which is also, majorly from the Bible, which well, the Old Testament is called Torah, and so on and so forth. So when they come in there, are they going to be allowed to practice their faith the way they understand it, the way they believe it?
You can practice your faith, but understand, right? Here we live under the law of the Old Testament, found in Exodus 19 to Deuteronomy 34. So I tell everyone, if you go and you do anything, I'm telling you, this is not like outside where you go to church on Sunday and you do what you want on Monday. If you break any of those laws and come into the court will give the judgment of the laws written in the holy book. This is part of the stipulations of being a Bedouin. You have to have the Hebrew law. So you can pray to who you want. That's between you and God. That has nothing to do with anyone. In the community, you will find there is no Christian church, neither will there be, because the Christian church is the advent and under the control of the Vatican, which is also the entire Judaism is under the control of the Vatican. So if we adopt their religious practices, then you fall in under Israeli law. You have to be removed from the community. So you lose your autonomousness. Israel is governed by religion, Christian and Judaism, and then you have what they call a Muslim law or indigenous people's law. So we're on this side with the autonomy so that we can own land and remain in peace. But what you believe and who you pray to is your personal choice. Nobody is taking that away from anybody.
But you're not going to be able to allow to set up a church, a community church, for instance, or a church where
this won't happen. The people of
people
Dimona
can gather and pray together.
You can gather and pray. They have masjids here. You can gather and pray. But to get together and have and conduct a Christian church, it will not happen. Any person that comes together and does this under the Israeli law, you will lose your land, you will lose everything, because you are operating under the Israeli law to be on an Israeli citizen. You are now not being indigenous. You're being something else.
Yeah.
This is the writing of the law. You have this specifications about, if you read the Balfour Declarations, it says the indigenous peoples, their practices, and the indigenous faith. Christianity is not indigenous at all. So you will lose this status by trying to create a Christian church or something like that. But if you got together and this is what you believe, you in Christianity, you in Christianity. If you nothing, you nothing. We're not, it doesn't stop a person's choice. Us personally here, we are law keepers and we keep the Abrahamic faith. We don't get into the discussions here in the community about you Christian, you Jewish, you Muslim. Doesn't matter. You see, that is not the point at all. Herein said, your faith is your faith. This is between you and God. If you want to go and be with the Christians, go be with the Christians. No one will stop you.
Yeah.
But here in the community, we have to be under the community laws so that we keep our land. We have to keep our possession.
Yeah. It's understood.
Okay, I want to say something here. Chief Jerry.
Yes, Bishop.
Okay, I want to give two instances. Number one, in Dimona, the kingdom of Yah in Dimona, and also at Pastor Jeremiah's church or temple in Tel Aviv. Now, Pastor Jeremiah, every Nigerian, I think he's from Uyo or something, every Nigerian that comes to Israel, Tel Aviv, they take him there. Now, that's the church where they worship in Tel Aviv. But in this church, they worship only on Saturdays. And he mixes it with the Jewish, the Sabbath system of worship as a Sabbatarian. Because he was a Sabbatarian, what they call Sabbatarian in Nigeria before he traveled. So that's what they operate. And even though that they read all the laws and everything, but when these guys go around, they still believe that they are Christians, but they are practicing the Jewish Sabbatarian law and the system of worship. Like in Dimona, where it's only on Saturdays, keeping all these laws and everything, but you can see them studying the scripture and they will quote the scripture for you, but yet they perform or they live the lifestyle of Hebrews, and they claim to be more Hebrews. But according to few other people, I've met around, they look at them as people who are, if I use the language, porous in their lifestyle, not as disciplined as people who are real Hebrews. Because the Hebrews, live more of a disciplined moral life. So they say the people of Dimona are, morally loose. If I use that language, I don't know if I'm.
He's telling the truth. So here we live 100% cultural life with a few amenities of hot water and electricity. But I have sheep. I raise sheep. I'm a shepherd. My wife can't do like they do out in America. We live the cultural life. She has to wear the cultural clothing and participate. That is part of the whole thing of being an indigenous person. So I live with the Midianites and we in perfect peace. And I keep the Torah law. So you see, like my armband. This armband marks me as an Israelite. I wear this every day. They ask me about it. They even recognize the writing. And they say, do you know what that means? And I say, yeah, I know what it means. It says, oh, yeah, you Israelite. Yeah, good. Stay here with us. Don't go out there to the Jewish. You see, so they know that I keep my laws exactly, and I have to as an indigenous person. You see, they have their law, and that's how they keep it through the Quran and the Islamic route. That's for them. I have to keep the Torah law. In your Bible, the Torah law is right there in Exodus. So if you're going to come here and be indigenous, I suggest start there. Read that, because you're going to have to live those rules here. Because we have sheep, we have cows, we have this lifestyle. There's no mistaking about it. Even Bishop Obu, we took him to one of the unrecognized villages, so he could see that they're still living on the land. Families and tribes listed in chronicles. They're still here, living the indigenous life. So if you want to hold your land and keep your land, well, you're going to have to remain indigenous to do so. You can't mingle. It just doesn't work. The Mona tried it for 50 years, and after they got the agreement and they got this, they even had a promise of land, and now the government has sabotaged it all. They sabotaged everything after they have complied. Once they saw, okay, you're going to be Christianity, you're going to do this, they surrounded this community in Demona. They built the city. The city is new. They built the city around the community. The community was there first. There was no one here down in the desert except Bedouin, and they started to build these communities, but the Jewish people were scared to come down because they didn't understand or know or were fearful of the indigenous peoples. So they sent the community of Demona down. And when they came in, they saw them living peacefully, they built up the rest of the city around them and marginalized them and then squeezed them out back into Jewish Israeli society. And then their children began to get into the Christian church, began to get into Judaism and joining in the army. And now the children are 100% lost. They are all gone, living in the Jewish life, paying taxes and doing this. And the indigenous people sit here and they are frustrated with them because for 50 years, they have tried to keep them as part of the tribe, as part of the family, to get their land back. So this is not a question about what a person can believe or whether or not they can pray. You can pray and believe whatever you like. Nobody's taking your Bible from you. Nobody's not touching your belief. You are allowed to believe as you like, but your behavior is what I have to deal with.
That's right. That's right.
I have to deal with this. Everything I've done here, the trust and everything was to establish an indigenous governmental system so that the people can be received into. And then they are coming to the court. Nobody's coming into the court for what they prayed at home. You come into the court for what you did when you left your home. It's your physical action. So I have nothing to do with a man's belief. Believe as you like. Pray, don't pray. Just don't go out and steal, because if you steal, I have to exercise this law for stealing.
Yes, that's
if
right.
you commit fornication, I have to exercise this law for fornication. And that's what the classes are about, because these are the real issues we have in the Bedouin community, where we have a court case, maybe some young man has gotten with some young girl and she's gotten pregnant. Now, the community, they want to kill somebody. Somebody's daughter is defiled, the family is highly upset. The father was entitled to his dowry, he was entitled to his right to choose and to select and to say, okay, this is a good man, and the daughter has taken that from him, so he's upset. And then we have to come in, we have to negotiate on them two getting married and getting him what he wants and whatever he wants to accept as atonement. You know? So these are genuine issues in the court that we deal with. So the people coming in, this is not going to be like Tel Aviv, and it's not like Jerusalem. This is not, you come here, it's very real that the laws that are written in the Bible, we live in them. These laws are actually executed. You rape someone's wife, this person will be buried. And everyone will be justified. But this is how we maintain peace. We don't have any rapes, we don't have any homelessness, and we don't have any hungry. This is not in any of our communities. Bishop Obu, we took him to Rahat, and in Rahat, we have 1 million. Still, no rapes, no hungry, and none homeless. You see? So the major issues that plague modern societies, they don't plague us here in our traditional life. We don't have a issue with a theft, with a lot of the other things because of the punishments that are given in the Bible. They work. They keep people from doing it. So it's not about what you believe. You believe as you like. This is the law here. This is and this is how we have to live to keep our land.
Yeah. It's well understood. It's very well understood. It's very well understood. Yeah. It's very well understood. Yeah.
What is your next question?
Yeah, I think for now I've exhausted the few questions I brought up first. Maybe in the course of discussions I may ask more. Yes.
I will. I know you are an attorney, right?
Yes.
I sent Bishop Obu a book, and this is our law book here. It was given to me from the Arabs. So the book is in English now. They've translated it since it first was released. I want you to take this book. It's a Torah. And as an attorney, I want you to look at the laws as they are written, because these have the full detail instead of just a short paraphrase. This is fully explained out in detail. So I want you to take a look, read these laws, and tell me when you come in what you think about them.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 second. Okay, so I want you to read these laws as a lawyer and tell me what you think about them. Because if you're as a chief, that's my wife. Honey, say hi to Chief Agemba. No, come wave, he can't see you. So as a chief, I know you are looking out for the best for your people. As a chief here, I do the same for mine. So I want you to look at these laws and you tell me if they are unjust. Oh, hold on. My light died. 1 second.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
I can see your light is dim.
But I can see it went a little bit dim. Yes. So what's the source of light there? Is it electricity? Is it solar? What is it?
Electricity, some have solar.
Pardon?
It's electricity. Some have solar, we use solar as well.
Oh, solar. Okay, fantastic. Good.
We have solar and electricity.
Yeah, we use a tandem
Solar and electricity.
We have solar hot water and electric heaters. And I have solar electric and regular outlet electricity from the city as well.
Okay. I want to say this. Like what you are saying, you are going to send me that book, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the little I know is when the British brought in the religion, the Christian religion to us, they were a bit surprised that we are very religious people. So what they did was to modify
our
religion. our religious life.
Yeah,
They
that's
could
what
not, yeah, they could not remove it.
no, you
Rather,
can't.
what they did
They
was to
modified
modify
it.
it. Now,
They modified it. If I told you, like, uh, the truth is, as a people, the only thing we fear truly is God. And nobody can dispute this. So if you're going to bring in something to us, only thing you have to do is to make it seem like this is what God wants, because we want to please God as a people. It's in our blood. So they modified it.
mm,
The singing to God is fantastic. We are the best singers in all the world when it comes to singing and worshiping to God. Now, I am not the praying to God. Nobody prays longer. Hi, say hi while you passing by. Say hi. This is my
how
wife.
are you?
How are you?
I know you. I know you.
Oh yeah, thank you.
So
Yes.
the praying, nobody prays more than us. But the modification comes in is when you talk about the character of a person, which is what the pastor is always preaching about on Sunday. The modification of a person's character to become righteous, to become
Yeah.
holy.
To
Now,
conform. Yes.
to conform. When you separate church and state, you create an environment where the laws that God gave no longer have the power to punish a person for their unjust deeds. So now you're stuck with a pastor who can just talk. Whereas in ancient times, it was the preacher who brought the punishment of God. Do you understand? So now
Yes.
here in this community, when I say, don't go out and commit adultery, if you do, I'm going to take you and the woman you committed adultery with, and I'm going to bury both of you. This is our law. The men won't do it. It doesn't matter if the woman even wants it. He won't do it to save he won't do it to save his own soul. So this is the way we live here. So this is what I'm telling everyone. You have to have the preparation to live under, oh, my light again. You have to have the preparation for living under the law this way. You see? So it's about them, they will actually have to change their character. They would have to actually be good people and not sometime good. They have to be good, which is what, as a chief, you seek in your people. You, as a bishop, would seek to the people you teach every Sunday, every week. Don't steal, don't do this, don't. Well, here they will have to, because failure to do so, the punishments,
It's death.
most of them are very expensive. You know, even if a man take a wife, the average wedding here is about 50,000 shekels. Not the dowry. The dowry is not that expensive, but the tradition states that you have to feed everybody. So you marry a girl from here, so you have 1,000 family members. This is how the tradition is kept. If we don't, you want her, you love her, you find she's beautiful, you get married today. We make a marriage in a week. It's just like it's written. Like Sarah and Abraham and Isaac and Rebecca. The weddings, it takes us, the wedding ceremony lasts a week, And that's what it is. It's a whole week of celebrating and feasting, and this is what it is. This is the tradition. We do it the exact same way. So we're not talking about people's beliefs. I just wanted that to be the most important thing, is that when they come in, and this is why Damona has been hesitant to come in, is because in the Israeli society, they have the freedom to get married and divorce and have children out of wedlock and do all these other things which are literally destroying them from the inside out like a cancer. It's cancerous. They have single mothers with multiple fathers of multiple children. And these women are not old. These are young women and still very beautiful. This is a big issue. This is something that has to be, we have to bring this to a head. We have to solve these issues.
I met one who is currently in South Africa, and I think somewhere in Durban in South Africa. So I met her, and she looks young and beautiful, but I now learned she's a mother of 4. Wow, mother of 4, young, and this one. Then I found out that this one is the father of this one. This one is the father of this one. This other one is father of this one. This other one is father of this one. Oh no, within that little this thing, I said, what is happening here? Even we who think, we have committed a whole lot of sacrilege. Now we begin to see ourselves, maybe we are too holy.
Yeah.
Considering that, I saw that.
This same person you're talking about now is in Ghana now, and the children are left here with the grandmother. There's no sense of community. All the young people have left. We've had young people here from the community of Damona. They're getting into drugs and they're committing suicide. This is an issue. You see, in the community of Damona, they got rapes and molestation. These issues that they have in this community, we don't have it here, because they know that the law that they're under here, it confines them to being of better character.
Now, what do you encourage? Do you encourage polygamy or monogamy?
Well, we have, our law is polygamous, period. It's up to this man and it's his choice. If he want one wife, if he want 2 wives, it's on him. My sheikh personally has 3. I have 1. I will get another one, but I have 1 now. So we do with it, it's a man's right. That's why even on the registration form, you'll see if you have a wife or wives, it's this man's choice. It's his family to build. I have no right to limit him.
Yeah. Okay, I get that. I get that.
Okay, let's. I want to ask about the process now. The movement we've received. We've received the with regards to the land, the information, the cost, then the form of registration, and everything. Will you be able to explain a bit so that Chief Jerry can understand some things if he has questions to ask?
Yes, the forms that you're sending back, right? Everything is being entered into a database. And this database is going to take all of those people. And so when we go into the court, We go into the court with one file, and whatever a person has contributed, they will receive that contributional portion of land. Now that land, when we get to the courthouse, because we have all of these agreements, we have to have the hard copies as well as the database. And when we go in, we get a whole corporate, the court stamp on this agreement, and that all these people receive their portions of all this land that was purchased. So once that stamp is on there, that's it, we're done. As far as the funding, we are literally just dependent upon you. However, you can organize the people to start to get the funds in, then we can see on a regular basis what our payment plan will be. Of course, we're not planning on going in there with $12 million in cash. There will be a organized payment plan allotted out, but it starts with the collections of people, because once the payment plan is issued, those people who have registered and have filed at that time, once that will put the stamp on, because the deposit is made, they will close the agreement at that time. You see? You understand? So that is the process. Once that's done, everyone will receive the certification that, that, because there'll be a court certification, and that court certification will go out to every individual on the database, and that is this piece of paper, that certification, that is your land ownership. You save that, and when you travel to Israel, you bring that with you. You will come in as a tourist, but once you get inside, you are immediately a Bedouin, because you have this paper for your land. Then you will come in and claim your land, we'll take you to the court, you get your passport and everything else.
Yeah, let me make a comment there. When I saw the original cost implication and also received the amended version in terms of, cost implication, and I also know that, this part of our world here, sometimes finances could be some problem of a sort. And the people who may be very eager and even more competent to move, maybe the younger ones who want to relocate, they don't have so much money as much as maybe was published in the first, cost of publication, and then maybe the second. So, is this something we can look at now, or Bishop, will you know that, or something incidents of?
Let me explain the finances first, so you understand.
Yeah.
The finance, there's a registration fee, and then there's a contribution. So a person can contribute $1, $1, and receive as part of a group a portion of land. I can take all the $1 people until they have enough of them to purchase 1 dunam. So it's not the amount of the contribution, right? My goal is for the censusing of the nation, if you understand, to bring them in and say, all of these people have a right here, and then you all have your proof of documentation. So this is how people gain validation and indigenous status to possess the land and to have it. So if a person doesn't have much money, somebody can put up $1 for that person, and their name and family still goes on the registry. So it's not a matter of the amount, like for someone to specifically have $500 or 1,000. Give as you can. I'm hoping that the ones who have more give more, but it's a charitable trust for a reason. It's like a charity. You give as you can. So just like in church or something, people give what they have. And I know the times is hard due to the current status of the world health, but this is the best time because I guarantee you, had this been a year ago, we wouldn't be having this meeting because it would have been too high. But to get this amount of land, you're talking 7.6 million square meters for $12 million is it's very reasonable. And I know that we have more than enough people within our nation, as many as the sands of the sea. If we just get the word out and raise the awareness to get them contributing, just so that they could say, hey, and they're getting this certification to say, hey, I got a piece of land in Israel. My lot number is whatever the lot numbers are, they're coming up in the future. But my lot number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is all they need to prove that they are indigenous to this land and that they can have a right of return and a right to grow in future or even to come and receive the 1 year of accommodation, to get work and to prosper in this land. So it's not so much about one person buying a palace, although one person could come in and buy a palace, but to get in, to be able to buy the palace, your contribution is needed to get you your piece of paper to grant you access as an indigenous person to buy the land to build the palace. So it's about, for me, the recensing of the nation to bring everybody in under the Igbo Hebrew Charitable Trust to show that now you are part of this indigenous house. So you have a right. Israel deals with a person's right, so that you have a right. So if they don't have a right, like right now, they don't have a right. They don't have a land right. They don't have a birthright. And they have no proof, no documentation of ownership of any kind. You see? So what am I doing? I'm giving you a land right and a birthright and a documentation of ownership at one time. For any amount, I don't care. Just make a contribution. Put up $1, $5, 10. But make a contribution. Do it for your sons. Do it for your daughters. Do it for your grandchildren. Don't just say you are a Hebrew Israelite. Now we unite as a people, and we get the land back, and we spread the right across our children, and then we all have proof. You see?
Yeah.
This is how we are.
Yeah.
This is how we are legally and politically and very quietly using soft power. We're not coming with war. These are your rules. But if we do it right the first time, because I know we only have one shot at this. One shot. After this is executed, they will close the door behind us. Because I promise you, I'm telling you, the Sheikh already warned me. I already know that the Israeli agency will come after the agreement is made and they see the people coming in and everybody have a land right. Because they will know that they are being dispossessed quietly and without weapons. Not one weapon, not one bullet, but legally. Your law says this, I have a right. You cannot. And here's the lawyers and everything, they look for these kind of cases. They love them. So Sheikh Monir is his lawyer. We are everyone is together. Because with this power of unification, we can take back, millions of meters, millions and millions of thousands of meters of dunams of land that were lost and just claimed by the Israeli government because we weren't living on them. So this is a lot larger than you can even imagine. So as far as finances go, it's not about a person's wealth. If they have enough money to buy bread, They have enough to contribute.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's more clearer now, and I think it's becoming more and more interesting. Yes, becoming more and more interesting. Let me ask again. You know, before we began to talk about this charitable trust, and then this idea of owning land, which would qualify us to be, you know, admitted, and then to have that indigenous status. There was this arrangement we were making to have people come on pilgrimage over there, I know, and then possibly come back, you know. So, I mean, is that independent plan, which we are making before this one, now still, is it still viable? Is it still actualizable?
We have not closed the pilgrimage plan at all. This is not closed. You see? That's why even on the documentation, the people who want to come to stay, and the pilgrim people who want to come and just make pilgrimage, the same traveling agency. This gives us, on this side, more rights to get visas. You see, we have our legal right to make travel plans and to get people to come and visit, but the process of getting the visa status is to where we not waiting 10 days. When we put it in, it's in and it's done. We needed to show more people interest in our agency. The other agencies, they work with the Israeli agency that does this is Nefesh Be Nefesh. Okay, so they handle all the aliyahs. So I had to create a charitable trust, which is our Nefesh Be Nefesh, so that the traveling people coming in for tourism, they come in and we can get approved through this agency. And for the people coming in to make aliyah, which is the return back to the land, they come in through this agency and the visa is approved. You see? So I had to jump through every hoop that the government threw at me. So people can come and just visit, make pilgrimage, to come see the progress, see what we're working on, see the Holy Lands, the holy sites. Like we took the bishop to go see the home of Abraham in Tel Sheva. You want to see it? I'll take you to it in stone. You can rub it. You can go inside. And even when we went, it was closed. But because God is on our side, we called the manager and he opened it special for us just to see. You see, so everything is still available. We have not closed out the pilgrimage. Nothing is closed. Nothing is closed. Everything is still here.
Yeah. Okay. Bishop Obu.
Yes.
Over to you.
Yes, actually, all that is explaining, I already know, but I had wanted you, I thought maybe there are others who will be joining you. I wanted them to hear from the horse's mouth. You know, I wanted, you know, if there are questions or everything. But with regards to as indigenous people, those areas, you know, I'm getting more, you know, I'm getting more information so that when I'm doing my campaign, see, a lot of people, my problem here is Chief Egemba, which you will understand. When you come to the Igbo land and the Igbo people across the world, it will be like, who are these guys that are able to do something great people are thinking of doing and they've not been able to do that? To be able to bring our people back to their, you know, a land of inheritance, the Holy Land. So, but then this is about God's doing. So I wanted, more information, which we are receiving to say this is the operational modus or the modus operandi
Yes.
in the land. This is the relationship between this law and this other law. I remember when we went visiting one community in Bedouin, these are also Hebrews, but because of their system of modus of dressing or the system they dress, I wanted to wear that thing to show. Now, some people calling me Pastor Alhaji, Bishop Alhaji. He's a Muslim. He said this one. Now, the mentality is not the same back here. So some think and claim, use the language that he has sold himself, he's morally loose, feels so without understanding that this cloth is about culture. When we say our cultural, the Igbo cultural clothes, to which you and Rabbi Sheikh wore and everything, and there are some who saw it to say, yeah, these are my people, these are my this and that, but they do not understand that this is cultural cloth. So I want us to understand. So
this cultural
meeting
cloth. This cultural cloth, right? So behind me, this flag is the flag of Judah as spelled out by the Torah, right? The red color is Judah's color, and you see the lion on it. See? That's the mark. That's a historical mark of heritage and culture passed down. So when the bishop gave me my historical cloth, the red with the lions, I immediately recognized my tribe and my people. You see?
That's right.
So all of the markers, like I said, I know what all of the markers are. We flew this flag and Bishop stood under it. And it wasn't just us and the people of Dimona, but the other Bedouin tribes and multiple Bedouin families, Moors and people from around the world came to stand under it and say, the Israelite is here. The house of Judah is back in this land. So it is important, about getting the word out. It is important about understanding that you're coming into a Hebrew kingdom. It's not a Christian kingdom. It's not even a Muslim kingdom. This is a Hebrew kingdom with Hebrew laws. That is the primary thing. What I'm building here, you guys even here in the court are not even considered just regular Chief Agemba and the Bishop Obu. You're not considered that here. When you're registered here, as you are registered here because I put you in the trust, you are registered as members of the King's Court, as part of my administration. You see? As part of my administration. Sheikh Aid, he has his administration. He has 12 members in his court for his quarter, for his tribe. I have to have my own administration. So you are all considered as part of my administration. Registered in the court in Israel, but it's even, you don't know, but it's even recognized in Saudi Arabia, it's recognized in Jordan, it's recognized in Syria, it's recognized in Lebanon, it's recognized in Iran and Iraq. In every Muslim nation, you are registered as part of my court. Not as, Chief Agemba and just Bishop Obu, and we create a little small community outreach. When this charitable trust was registered in the court in Israel, it was registered on both sides in both courts, in the Israeli court and in the Bedouin court. But the Bedouin court, it encompasses all of the Sharia court as well. So every Muslim nation recognizes it, even though we are keeping Torah. You see? So it was a very powerful move to make, but it was one necessary. Now I want you to understand that, you know, it's not we administrations here. This is a government conversation. We're not talking as, you know, I'm not talking to two pastors now.
I think I understand that now. I understand this very clearly, yes. This is the administration of Rabbi Sheikh sitting now and discussing administrative matters.
Right.
I get that. I get.
Yeah, we're discussing what? The relocation and the re-indigenization of our people from all over the world. It doesn't matter where they are. So, right, it doesn't matter where they are. It doesn't matter if they know they are or they're not. This is what we are discussing here. So,
yes,
the rules, every kingdom has to have a constitution, right? I don't have time to sit down and draw up something, and I don't have time for lies or for politics. I have to do it the only way that will actually work. I don't have this time. So we are discussing, this is an administrative conversation. When you're talking about the contribution, you're not contributing to me, you are contributing to the kingdom.
The kingdom. It's understood.
And the kingdom is a kingdom of kings and of priests. So every man on the kingdom owns his portion of the land of the kingdom. He is a king of himself. He may not be part of the national administration, but over his land, he is Lord. So this is the difference between the conversation, like how I'm handling it and how it's considered here, and what the difference is that doesn't get translated on the paper. You understand? The documentation makes it sound like this man is just buying land. He's not. This man is actually receiving his kingdom back. Right?
Yes.
He's receiving his birthright back. You are talking about Esau who sold his birthright.
That's right.
We never sold our birthright. We just got run out. So now what are we doing? We're just going, taking the little steps to buy it back, and then we can come back and start to grow and develop in our land again. So we are having a kingdom conversation. This is not a conversation about beliefs or anything. This is a real kingdom, genuine. When you receive your land, you have your land right. Nobody can take it from you. It's up to you to take the necessary steps to lose it. This is the truth.
Yes.
So this is the understanding that's on this side. And I want you to have the same on that side. So when you're talking to your people, to tell them to participate, don't tell them this is just buying land. This is not. This is not even just to brag, oh, I own a piece of land in Israel. I'm part of this. No, no, no. It's much, much, much greater. Believe me. This is you having your birthright back in this world under every world government. You see? When you come back, you want to have an argument in the UN, you can present, no, 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 no. My kingdom is established in Israel. We are the Israelites and we are there. And we are living in the ancient customs and traditions as part of the indigenous peoples of the land. You have a valid argument and land ownership documentation from the current government, so that not even the Israeli government can dispute your argument in the United Nations. You see? We are able to conduct ourselves the same way France and England and the other nations do. You see, so
Yeah.
all this does is place the people back under the one umbrella of the Hebrews again. And so now you can demand reparations and everything else from other nations for the atrocities they have committed, because you have a king and you have a kingdom and you have land back in your homeland. You see?
Yeah,
This is
Bishop Obu. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you talked about a number of. I think this is not the last meeting we are going to hold.
No, no, at all.
Yeah, I know it's important that I am here to hear this out, and then I now have a better idea as to the kind of persons I should bring to the next meeting. So I will with our next meeting, I think we'll have more participation from us than this. I'll get more people to join us. But it's important I get to know what I've known now, so that in sharing, I'll share appropriately, I will share correctly.
More clarification.
Yes, and then I'll be able to clarify in case the questions are asked, so that when we come to the next meeting, every person joining, we'll have an understanding of the premise, so that from there we can now we can advance the discussions further. Yes, okay. That's what I think. Yes.
Let me chip in this so that everyone will understand. Chief Gemba, I know that you are. What language do I use when it comes to law? What language? Okay, it has run out of my destiny, but I know that you are someone who is loyal to your country, who believes in your country. No matter how you are marginalized, you believe in processes where people can come to the table to negotiate, so that you can still get back your right and everything, which have been lost, no matter how you are. So now you see, in Nigeria today, I understand the agitations with regards to Biafra and whatever. And some people think the issue of Biafra is like Igbos. They don't know that there are other ethnic groups that are involved in Biafra. But
that's right.
You yourself, you believe in that in the country Nigeria, whereby everyone can sit down to iron out their differences and still get back your rights.
That's right.
Now,
that's right.
In the campaign which our people have been making with different historical facts, but without maybe proofs, or different historical proofs without facts and everything, of our connection with Israel. Now, people claimed we are Jews until there was a clarity to know that we are not Jews, rather we are Hebrews.
Hebrews, yes.
Now, in order to get back to the Holy Land, or to get the full connections, you've taken me to the to the palace of the King of Kings. It's all about this discussion and what next with other kings. You were bringing on board. Now, how to go back to the basics. This now is the campaign to say, how do we get back our birthright? Is through obtaining the land right. Is through getting. This is a system. The easiest way we know that is all about God, because some people have been prayerfully. Some people have gone to the mountains, fastings and praying that God reveals His prophecy. Yes, I believe in it, but then it's not when you prophesy it happen. God can use anyone to do that.
That's right. That's
so
right.
I know when God began these connections and everything, but the thing is, why must it be you? That is the one that is connected to this. Now, from why must you be you, he came to, how come it is this man that is the one that actually links you back to the, to your central home? Now, how come it is this man that has connected to this very one, and is you of all people that will be speaking on behalf of the Igbos in Igbo land? So there are certain people who believe that they have power, who believe that they have trillions of dollars, who makes noise politically. Everyone expects that it could come from them. Like biblical it is, Yehoshua, Jesus Christ, was born in a manger. So we do not expect that such a person would be. So I wanted us to understand that what is happening now is only God doing his own work through his own way. So it is important that we understand this system and how it is, how feasible it is in order to link back. That's why, our people believes in, what do you call it? They believe in, let me say, after work, when things have been produced. They don't believe in hard work.
Yes.
So they believe in, it has already been done. You see them, all those power brokers, and everybody begins to jump in because I understand it. So I told the Rabbi Sheikh and the Sheikh to say, between now, because you and I also told him, because when he said, one person, 12 million people, knowing that Igbos in Nigeria only are more than 35 million, apart from the Igbos across the world. One person could contribute $1, 12 million people contributing $1 is 12 million. I told him it doesn't work like that in our place. Because the mentality is different. I said, I will liaise with Chibari Segeba to discuss the way forward, what needs to do. But give us from now till the 31st October, we'll be able to come up at least with a deposit of $10,000 or thereabout, so that there will be commitment, there will be receipt, even if it amounts us borrowing. We'll do that, then we start, So our people always love to say, okay, if you tell them this is how it's going to work, and they'll ask you, why hasn't it worked for you? So, but when it begins to work, they see it. So I've been there, I've moved, and I've understood to know that this has already worked. We only need to put that into place because it has already worked.
That's right. That's right. I understand. I understand.
I want you to understand this. You see, this project is not my first land project. Okay? The first time I did it for myself. And I put Ali, I put my wife, I put my priest, my minister, and I put the people who were with me here in Seged. I put them on. I bought one small personal piece of land, one, and I put them on it, and we laid the foundation, and then we got our Bedouin indigenous right. Now, everybody is coming to offer us this offer, the Negev Authority. Hey, we have this land here. It's been sitting here for 50 years. Nobody wants to build. It's too stony. You could take this. Nobody wants this. It's here. You could take this. This land, there's a well here, so nobody wants to be on top, but there's water there. You could take this. This is what I did for nights. I got myself first to get my own passport, ID, and Bedouin status. Now it's easy for me to say, okay, I was able to go to the Negev Authority and get this now for my people because I'm a Bedouin, I'm a Sheikh, and I'm already on the system. So what you are saying is 100% true. If you are going to do it for yourself first. So I did it first. I tried it, so I know it works. Now the trick is if I do it right again, one more time, because nobody said nothing about it when it was just me. But I also sat here for 5 years to gain the trust of the authorities for them to put the stamp, because they know this could go, you know, very big, like fire. They know they can be dispossessed. So when I did 5 years and they said, oh yeah, you're just some guy, they don't know my history, they don't know my background, they don't know my connections, and most of all, they don't know my God. When I did it for myself, now I was able to go back and say, well, I want all of this, and I'm looking for this because I want to, you know, grow. And I have children, wives, and, you know, I have the people of my tribe that are here. I want to take them off of the system burden, because the system of asylum, the government has to give them a check. So I pitched it as an idea to get the asylumers out of asylum and get them to being productive and off of the system. They said, do you want this for this? Oh yeah, you take it then. You know, that you might lose money because, you know, they're very poor. And I was like, yeah, I know. But give me them, they're my people. What can I do? They gave it to me. I didn't extend it just to the asylumers. I'm extending it to the whole nation. But this is the point of the idea. I know it works. Why give it to just those who are here? Because after I get them, there will be no way for me to get the rest of you, because they will close this avenue. It's a stroke of a pen. Oh, terrorist or something, and ta-ta-ta-ta, and the threatening of the losing of the land, and that's it. But to do it now, you're right. We have to do it. We have to close it out, because it's everything to our great-grandchildren, to our children's grandchildren, for us to step up and be the nation that God promised we would be in this land, to return. You see?
Okay. Okay.
Now let me just say one last thing. So almost like to keep us thinking. Yeah, this will work. There's no doubt about that. But one thing is clear: not all of us, not all the Igbo,
it's not about everybody.
It's not
It's
all
not
the
about
Igbos
everybody returning. It's about everybody having the right.
That's right.
You see?
Yes.
There's a difference. There's one thing to say, I don't want to return. Okay, I don't need you to return. But what about your children and your grandchildren? Well, no, I want my son to be in the land. I want my daughter. I want to have the right when I want to come to the land.
Exactly. So, that's So, but I'm building up to something. While we are doing this, and those who can move are moving, there will still be a significant number still remaining here. Let me draw your attention to the fact that this significant number here are still under very constant threat of possible extermination. That is a problem now we are dealing with. So in our future discussions, as we build up enough security to protect what we say, we'll probably be able to be talking about more serious things than this concerning our people, and how we can even help protect those who may stay here until they have the capacity to join us over there. This will constitute part of our future discussions. But for now, I think I am very, very clear in my head what to do and how to approach this matter. I think I will discuss it more further with Bishop Obu, and together we'll work out something that will help actualize this noble objective, which Rabbi Sheikh has conceived in his magnanimity, in his brotherly love, and his brotherly affection. I am excited that I'm talking to Rabbi Sheikh one-on-one, and we are looking at ourselves. I could see your smile. That's brotherly smile. Our people smile.
He's wearing He's wearing T-shirt, so he's not putting on the regalia. So this
Exactly.
one is yeah.
Exactly. So that's my brother now, talking with me one-on-one. Because when he puts on the regalia, the other regalia, I mean, the ceremonies will follow and things like that. The grandeur of office and all that go with it will be attached and they will be called up. You know, but for now, I think I am excited, Bishop Obu, for this meeting. You know,
Bishop Obu will tell you, I am not one for the coronation.
yes.
I don't know where I got this. I'm not to be like the coronation and big status. I accept what it is, though. I accept that it calls for it, for the grandeur of everything. And I accept it. But at the same time, my focus every day is the work. Let's do the job to be worthy of the crown. I don't want a crown because I have seen Jaja's.
That's right.
I want to walk and work worthy of the crown you are trying to give me.
Yeah, I go. You get me. You get me at that. You get me at that.
Okay. I will say this as if I said in the motion for adjournment. In the motion for adjournment, let me bring, a little clarity to Rabbi Sheikh with a little clarity to what Chief Barrister Jerry Gemba is saying, but which I also know, I didn't remember that angle of introduction, but then he made it, that Rabbi Sheikh was an American Air Force officer. So he understands that the history of the Igbos are widely known by even the Russians and the Chinese. So they know about the Igbos. Even what the Igbos face in Nigeria, they know about it. But our people will always say, in Igbo language, the one they use, you first of all, like he's trying to say, get the right of a land before you talk about the building on the land. Now, it is when you are able to sit on a seat and relax, you'll be looking at from where you are sitting. The problem of our people, we know it so much. But those, if you also remember in the scripture, whereby there are so many plans. Once God tells you, this is what to do, this is what to do, you follow it prophetically, spiritually, that then when the enemies just hear some sound, they think that this is the boot of the armies, a great army is coming, everybody runs away. Not knowing that there is no war going on. But those who, who do not listen prophetically, who do not listen to the spirit, they carry their sword and they are cut to pieces.
That's right.
This is what is going on in our place. So people who think it's out of radicality, but no one would have ever believed that it doesn't take those billionaires to actualize what we're trying to actualize now.
Yes, yes.
So these things will be discussed, the kingdom investiture, the kingship, the kingdom, protection of our people, those who are there and those who are outside. But first, we need to get the land before we build, then sit and relax. Then it will be easy, whatever you have to do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so with this, I'm moving a motion of adjournment.
Yes.
So we will communicate to say this is the next time we will have a meeting, but more people will be joining, you know,
That is
in
fine.
the meeting.
To be honest with you, I'm gonna tell you this. I think that is most important that this meeting happened the way it happened, because as the heads of this part of the headship of this kingdom here, we need to have both clear insight and oneness of mind in the matter. So I appreciate the time that both of you have spent with us here today to say thank you to you both. And I really honor both of you men very highly.
Thank you very much. Ali, Brother Ali. Hello, Chief Ekemba.
That's in support of the motion. Yes, Rabbi Sheikh's last statement is in support of the motion for adjournment.
Yes,
Yes,
and I'm greeting Brother Ali. I understand his job, so he don't talk much. You see, like people who are well cultured, even what we do, who are cultured and well disciplined. When everything is being said, he don't talk. But
did you hear how Rabbi Sheikh introduced him? He is the chief security.
Yes, of course.
They don't talk. They don't talk.
Exactly.
They just everything. So they can advise everything.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, we'll communicate more.
Okay.
Please send me the book as soon as possible. Translated.
I will. Yes.
Okay.
So
okay. So good night, everyone. Dr. Chief, please. I also need to communicate with you, with regards to
all right. All right, Bishop.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Rabbi Sheikh. Good night. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.